Welcome to Crossing Continents, where we share our Trans-Africa journey from Cape Town, South Africa to London, England in the new Ineos Grenadier. Starting in 2007, we began our journey of crossing each of the 7 continents. We completed North America in 2009, followed by Europe in 2010. It took a few more years before we completed Asia in 2012. And then 2013 was a big year for us where we completed Antarctica, Oceania, and Africa with a west to east crossing. And then in 2014, we completed our last continent, South America. And while I crossed Africa from west to east in 2013, I wanted to explore the continent more thoroughly and travel from south to north, experiencing that broad spectrum of geology, flora, fauna, and cultures available when traveling from Cape Agulhas in the south to crossing the equator and ultimately arriving north of the Horn of Africa. Follow along our journey in this multi-part series of crossing the continent of Africa.
Hello, I'm Scott Brady with Overland Journal and Expedition Portal, and I'm here in London at the Grenadier pub, and I've just taken delivery of the Ineos Grenadier. We're getting ready to take this vehicle across the continent of Africa.
How exciting is this? Reunited, and it feels so good.
Just took delivery of the vehicle here in Durban at the African Transit Facility. They've been super helpful to deal with. They got the carnet process, the vehicle out of customs and delivered to me here, getting ready to head our way north. So this morning we're here at FrontRunner in Johannesburg, and we're going to put in some basic modifications to the vehicle. We need some secure storage in the back, a way to sleep inside the vehicle, and we need a 3/4 rack on top so we can carry extra fuel and our max tracks. That's about the extent of the modifications that we're doing on this vehicle. So we get a lot of questions about how the Grenadier drives on the highway. We're currently doing 120 kilometers an hour down a South African interstate, and the vehicle is very comfortable. You can see it takes one hand on the wheel. There's not a lot of noise, vibration, or harshness from the vehicle. The ride quality is quite good because of the coil springs. And the seats are great, so even after, just the other day, Joe and I did a nearly 12-hour driving day, and we were both fine at the end of the day. You don't feel totally fatigued. And I'm even getting almost 19 miles to the gallon out of the vehicle at highway speed. So overall, ride quality, comfort on the highway, thumbs up. So a beautiful foggy morning here in Johannesburg. And we're finally leaving town. Joe and I are on the road heading south towards Cape Town and Point Agulhas, which is the southernmost point on the African continent. And it feels really good to be on the road. It's been about 4 years in the making, almost a year of planning with Ineos and the Grenadier. So we are en route to Calvinia. Just left Williston this morning. Nice little town. Great little restaurant, and this is a long straight road. It reminds me so much of northern Arizona. I can easily be on the 89 heading north towards the Grand Canyon right now. So it's amazing how places start to look the same with time.
How about that?
That's incredible. Good morning, guys.
It's meant to be.
Chris Ingram, great to meet you, mate.
Yeah,
How are you?
as well.
Joe. Cheers, guys.
Got our chops. Wonderful to meet you, both of you guys. For that contact from you.
Gaan hy Agulhas toe. Dan vertrek hy van Agulhas af wat natuurlik die weesheidlikste punt in Suid-Afrika is. En van daar af, luister hierna, gaan hy per pad tot in Londen ry. Dit gaan omtrent so 10 maande van. So it's going to take you around about 9 months. That's right. Yeah. Now this is Scott. If you see him on the road, just give him a cheer, just give him a hoot, and just wave at him. Scott, thank you very much.
you're
Welcome in South Africa.
Yeah, thank you. I love your beautiful country.
Thank you very much.
On our journey south to Cape Town, we wanted to literally shake down the Grenadier and some of the accessories on a long overland route through the Cederbergs. This included technical low-range routes, water crossings, rocks, and a steep ascent to the Bockrans Eco Lodge. And who doesn't love a lodge that requires low range just to get there? We drove the last 14 miles in low range, following Ozzy, on the way to the off-grid Bockrans accommodations, which is complete with Cape leopard, baboon, antelope, and ancient Aboriginal rock art.
Absolutely incredible day today. We did a scenic trail, four-wheel drive trail, through the little village of Wuppertal. There was a lot of rain in this area, big washouts. So it's not normally quite this difficult, but the Grenadier made it through no problem today. Lots of low-range travel, absolutely beautiful scenery. Some of the most incredible scenery I've seen in Southern Africa. And we've just ended here at Bockrans. And this is a nature reserve. This is actually in cooperation with one of the leopard trusts here in South Africa. And it is beyond stunning what we're seeing at this place. Incredible day.
A month ago, big flood happened.
I heard
Crazy rain. This area is actually dry Cederberg.
Okay.
Haven't seen actually rain last 10 years like that. Citterstal, the bridge washed out, completely gone.
Wow.
The people couldn't actually even get out or in. They did helicopter, actually the food support.
Incredible.
And the bridge we actually, you didn't come from that way. But our bridge also from N7, from highway, was actually under the water.
Oh,
we couldn't, actually, it was very dangerous also, very deep. You can't get any vehicle.
Sure.
And we couldn't come for a month. Many actually big amount of damage, all the farmers.
Yeah.
But we are at the top here. We couldn't come a month. We were just thinking roads probably gonna be hectic. But I mean, this is
it's a great road.
Worst actually, the condition is this.
Yeah, it's a great
We
road.
arrived 2 weeks ago. Nothing, no single damage.
Everything was
here,
okay.
and we were okay here. And now it's flower season coming.
Yeah.
I mean, a month later, I'm sure you have seen already blooming. A month
Beautiful
later,
flowers
this
so
place gonna become like orange, yellow, and purple. It's just incredible. Always people, go to West Coast. West Coast is very famous for the flower season. But actually, Cederberg, I spent 3 years ago, first time flower season here in Cederberg. I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
We have amazing actually vegetation and plants here.
And the view from where we're standing right now is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So, Ozzy, tell us a little bit about the Aboriginal art that we're looking at here.
Yeah, good question.
Do we know anything
No,
about
look.
the peoples that lived here?
Yeah, I do, of course, know. Man, the story is very deep. Story is very long. South Africa got lots of actually the rock arts. Nobody can actually tell you exactly how actually the old they are, but they can be from 200 years to hundreds of years and back.
Yeah, sure.
And the funny enough, they are here. All the orange stuff you see, these are from Khoisan and like the very old the rock arts.
Okay.
But there are different actually the communities and the people lived in these areas. This is, for instance, another rock art, but it's not old.
Yeah.
These are
1939. Yeah.
Exactly, and now we are here. And it's actually, when you come here, you just feel like the time machine. You feel like you're in a time machine, and the different people live the different conditions here. There was actually nothing hundreds of years ago, but people were living and surviving here.
Yeah.
And
surviving enough to create art.
Exactly.
So we're really breathing the air of our ancestors in a way right here in this place.
Definitely. And incredible. I mean, you can actually see, look, these are the human figures here, dancing or hunting.
Yeah.
You can't see properly, but there are some of the rock arts. They are in a very good condition still. You can see easily. Animals.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if we can actually have time, I want to take you to another cave, which is one of the most impressive, actually, the rock art, giant rock art sites. And there are elephants there, you can see. And either they have seen these elephants somewhere further and they moved here, or there were elephants here, I'm 100% sure before, you know.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
What a special place, Ozzy.
It is, definitely, yeah. We feel so privileged.
Well, I just feel so fortunate to be
lucky.
here. Thank you.
Now, Ozzy is originally from Turkey, and he shared his love for coffee by hand grinding and steeping a few cups for Joe and I. Oh, there you go, a cup of Joe. Adding some necessary warmth and energy to the brisk dawn hours.
So we're going to talk a little bit about how we configured the Grenadier for this trip. My goal was to keep things as simple as possible. I really don't like to bring a lot of things with me. But one thing that I did need was a way to store some additional equipment in the back, and then to be able to sleep inside the vehicle, because that's my preference. If I can, keep the weight off the top and sleep inside the vehicle. So we worked with FrontRunner, and they created a custom load floor. This is not a drawer system. It's simply a frame, an aluminum frame. The frame itself only weighs 8 kilograms. There's a little bit more weight in the wood carpeted top. But then it takes 4 of these FrontRunner boxes underneath the platform, or you can put soft bags, whatever you prefer, underneath there. And then this simple stratchet comes across and secures everything in place. There's some small cubbies on either side to stick things like toilet paper or a pillow or whatever else you want, some soft goods to stuff into the sides. And then we elected to go with the smallest fridge, regular fridge that Dometic makes. So this is a CFX 25. They do make one that's 11 liters. That's a center console fridge, but this is going to be just perfect. It's small enough where we can easily remove it and stick it into the front seat for sleeping inside of the vehicle. But when we're using it on the road, it actually tucks into this little recess on the side of the interior of the Grenadier. This surface here ends up being just over 6 feet with the seat folded forward a little bit. Joe, who's traveling with me, is 6'7", so this is a bit of a challenge with Joe because we've got to really push the seat forward. Fortunately, he sleeps on his side, tucks his legs up a little bit, so we actually believe that we can make it work, although we have not quite tested that yet. So we can stick the boxes in there, and then all of the soft bags can be lashed down on the top of this load floor. So the load floor will come up, it's hinged, and it'll actually fold all the way down flat again, so you can use all of the rear seats. But we're going to leave it in this down configuration for sleeping and for storage since we don't have any additional passengers. So if we look at the back seat area, we've been storing the seats down. There's quite a bit of storage underneath this driver's side rear seat that I've got used for some spare parts. We've also got additional spare parts that we brought along, including 2 rear shock absorbers and a front steering damper. Those are all zip tied together and they fit just perfect between the back of the seat and the rearmost part of this frame. We've also got a couple extra windshield wipers. We've got an extra set of British number plates too, so you always want to have extra number plates. We already almost lost one on the trip. We don't know if someone was trying to take it or if it just rattled loose, but we had to re-secure one. In the back of these Melvill and Moon seat covers, we keep important vehicle documents. We also keep maps. It's clever because there are actually 2 zippers. So there's a zipper pocket here that I've got some additional cords in.
Then there's a large, very deep pocket, but then there's one more small zippered pocket here where you can keep quick access items. If you want to keep the back organized, it's really helpful. And then even on the inside of the bolsters, we've got an additional small pocket for like a flashlight, for example. The last accessories we needed to add were in Cape Town, where we would pick up an in-deflate so we can air down the tires on the Grenadier, and we also paid a visit to Melvill and Moon in their flagship store. They installed their canvas seat covers and provided me a bedroll for sleeping inside of the Grenadier. They also took a few minutes to fit one of their spare tire covers, which protected the spare from dust and sun. Okay, so here we are in Southern Africa. We're at the Ineos headquarters here in Cape Town. It's still under construction. They're building the test course. It's right here on the water, absolutely beautiful location. And they've actually delivered 80 vehicles so far. They've got agents in Namibia, Botswana, Tanzania, and in Kenya. So they're building out that support infrastructure for Ineos in Africa. And our next stop is Mozambique. So Joe and I have just made it down to Cape Agulhas. So this is the southernmost point of the African continent. It's also the point where the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean come together at the end of land. And we've got our route scheduled north. We're going to start heading up towards Mozambique. What an exciting time. So we just got to the border with Mozambique. We got to check out of South Africa. So we got to clear the carnet and then get our passport stamped out and then hopefully get into Mozambique on a temporary import. American driver, UK vehicle, owned by a company. It's always fun, the trifecta.
There it is.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Is this the way to Gala Gala?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
What's your name?
Yeah, Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Me too.
Hey.
Yeah, my name's Joseph.
Oh, so
Yeah.
So we just came through the border at Mozambique. Just want to allay anyone's fears. Going from South Africa into Mozambique was super relaxed. Wonderful people. They were kind and funny, and they were all relaxed at the border. Made the process feel really good. It was funny, we were trying to get through immigration with our passport, and the guy was having this very heated conversation with his mom. So Joe and I just stood there we probably stood there for 10 minutes, and he finally said, "Hey guys, I'm talking to my mom, have a seat." And then he spent at least another 5-10 minutes finishing up the conversation with her, and then we got a piece of paper, paid our 250 Rand a piece to get our visa, and then we were in the country. The process of bringing in the vehicle was even easier. There's a long form you got to fill out. They don't take any payment. It's a temporary import that's associated with your passport. I've got a copy of the document that I can show if I need to, but other than that, we and the vehicle are now in Mozambique.